Yeah, that was just myself, Scott, and Adam, and a couple of friends in it. Yeah, that was our first band, really. Just sort of getting a bit of experience. Well, no, we weren't actually. We weren't obviously in the band thinking this is good experience for some later date. We just got a taste of what being in a band was about then, I suppose. Just the, knocking songs up and playing them to people, the whole thing. It was in our veins, from an early age, I suppose. It was difficult to pinpoint when, but we were kind of like learning our craft during those years, and we started to start writing songs. The songs started to get suddenly better in quality, so we decided that Adam, Scott, and myself would break away and kind of concentrate on this new stuff we were doing, and voila, the Bluetones were born. Well, we sort of spent a lot of time just locked away in our garage, really, writing songs and perfecting them before we kind of started to play them to people. So until then, we were being quite cautious, really, in the sense that we weren't desperate to burst onto the limelight. We just stayed in and learnt our craft, if you like. And then as soon as we started playing in London, and which is like pretty much the centre of the British music industry, things started to happen for us quite quickly. We started to get a buzz, and then these people started to come down to the gigs and start wanting to talk to us, which was, fairly good for us because it meant we didn't have to go around banging on anyone's doors to get any attention. A lot of people came to us early on. I was doing a degree when we started to get it together, and then I soon lost interest in that. Once we started, writing songs together, I sort of, I got a really massive feeling off of what we were doing, and I left my degree course and just got a really crappy job for about 6 months in this warehouse, just sort of filing records away. It was a big records warehouse, so I could get loads of really good, cheap records. But then after about 6 months, I thought, oh, this is totally sapping me because it was like I had to get up early in the morning, that sort of thing, which I physically can't handle. So I knocked it on the head, went on the dole, and you know, the other side at the same time, the other three did exactly the same thing, and concentrated on the band. I mean, and if I wasn't doing this now, I mean, I don't really know what I'd be doing. I don't really think about it. I never thought about it because I just gave it 100%. I never thought it would fail. Well, I never thought. It's not a case of I never thought it would fail. I just never thought of failure. It never crossed my mind. As long as I was doing something that I was happy doing, I would consider that a success. There's a lot of my friends who aren't happy doing what they're doing, and you can't buy that for any money in the world. That feeling of just contentment. Favorite narcotic? Probably grass. About an ounce a week, which ain't too good for my throat when I'm on tour. But there you go. I have to have my outlets. And it's only an ounce a week now because I can afford it. Not really. I don't think the drugs are the problem. I think it's kind of educating people that's the problem. If people knew the risks of what they were doing, they'd maybe, do things a little bit more moderately. But no one's told anything. You're getting confused signals from the government. You're getting confused signals from people who are supplying them to you and your friends. I don't think drugs are the problem. I think it's the way that they're perceived, really. The band's all four of us, so Scott and I don't kind of bring any of our petty squabbles into the band and into that arena. It's not really the best way for us to work. I mean, it's obviously the best way for Oasis to work because look at the results. But with us, it's complete opposite, really. It's about harmony rather than kind of any petty squabblings.